Hoping. Well, it's Wednesday, and so it's 7 o'clock.
Oh shit! All right,
So
we
you
live?
know what time it is.
Are we live?
We are live. It's chasing. Well, wow, man. I don't
Allergies. The allergies are killing me today. Sorry.
really. We chasing gazillions. Not the same as making millions.
Getting closer on open mic night.
Open mic night. Open mic
Let's
night.
go.
So Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony. Two real estate professionals here, coming together, kick the can. Tonight's episode is a good one. Yes, we it's open mic night here, and we are going to let you, the audience, come in live wherever you are, chat with us, give us your questions, um, and we're just gonna hey, we're just gonna be here talking and rambling, and there you go. Uh, but we will let you know we do have an exciting guest next week. What's his name?
Rick Lash.
Rick Lash. He's is he an attorney or is he a lender?
He's an attorney who
Yeah,
does
attorney.
foreclosures, lending practices. He's a
Looks like
substitute
they've been
trustee.
around. The company bio said about 30 years here
Yeah.
doing this kind of work, working with lending institutions and all. He's going to give us some great insight next week on what's happening with the banking industry and these banks that are closing, and if we can expect more of that, because it looks like it's picking up.
Things are picking up. I mean, it's right now it's a 2-foot wave, but there's a 20, 30 footer coming in the horizon, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's quiet, but people have to take note of
That's
banks
on the commercial side.
closing.
On the
Huh?
commercial side, it's really picking up. It's going to be worse on the commercial and the residential.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss that next week.
No.
That's what is that? May 10th?
May 10th.
May 10th, 7 o'clock, right here on Chasing Gazillions. And we're going to have a special guest. I don't know if we're going to have a special guest host, but I may stop in. I'm not going to be here next week.
But you may stop in. Which one is it? You're going to be here. You're not going to stop in. What? You can't. You don't know yet. Just say I don't know.
I'm going to be away. As you all know, I serve on the DC Board of Real Estate Appraisers, a regulator of appraisers. And we are having our annual ARO conference in Savannah, Georgia next week. And
Savannah's fun.
I'm gonna be staying at what is it, the Soto? Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. I flew into Savannah, but I went and stayed in Hilton Head. It's like a half hour away
Oh, okay. All right. It's a half an hour away.
from Hilton Head. Yeah. Played a
But
little golf, you know.
yeah, well, I'm thinking about. I don't know if I'm gonna take all my clubs. I'm thinking about maybe taking a club.
One club?
Well, if I've only played one hole.
It's getting weirder.
So maybe
If you're gonna take one, you might as well take at least 5. Or
don't
just
know.
go to Top Golf. Go to Top Golf. Hit balls there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, they rent your clubs there, but I don't like the rented clubs. Now that I have custom clubs, I like to play with my clubs.
You got some custom clubs made up,
do.
right?
Yes.
And they're just collecting dust right now?
No.
You're hanging laundry on them? What are you doing with them? Where do you keep your clubs?
I took them with me to Vegas.
Where do you keep them?
In my bag. I have one of those airplane like carry bags on a hard shell bag, travel bags is what you call
keep it in there year round?
Not year round, because I just got it in December when I went to Vegas. I traveled to Vegas. I took my
Okay.
club
You know where real golfers keep their clubs in their trunk because you never know. You never know.
in the
You might
trunk of what?
you might want to go play. You might be driving by a course. Say, hey, feel like playing? Let's go. Get out and play. Keep them in your trunk,
The trunk of your car?
trunk of your car. Yeah. Oh no, no, that's what real golfers do. Don't dismiss me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
really?
Really.
Okay. Well, I have open house signs in the trunk of my car just in case I get a listing and I need to put a sign up.
And the clubs can fit into. You got that big trunk.
I know.
You can put a body in that trunk.
I have an embarrassing story to tell.
Here we go. It's go time. All right. It is open mic night, so let's go.
Okay. All right. This is an unbelievable story. This is okay. So last Friday, I'm in the office. And as you know, I do a lot of both prospecting, intentional, purposeful calling to individuals to inquire about their real estate needs and if our company can be a provider, service provider. And I do marketing, which is automated drip campaigns and emails and text messages that go out to keep me top of mind of individuals who may not be ready to do business today, but someday. On Friday, I received an email. The email was just came in and it said, uh, yes, again, I agree. Yes, again. Let me get the email. Hold on, because this is just unbelievable.
So far, I don't see what the embarrassing part is.
You, you don't see the embarrassing part
Not
yet?
yet.
Not yet. Okay, hold on. You don't see the embarrassing part yet. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I okay. There. Okay.
Don't say okay
Okay.
again. Don't say okay again. I promise you. That's embarrassing.
Okay. Here we go. Here's the story. Here's the story.
Go ahead.
On Friday, I'm at my desk. I get an email. It says, "Hello again. Tuesday, May 2nd, between 12 and 1 would be fine. Confirmed." And I was like, "What?"
That
That's
sounds
what
like
I
a
thought.
scam.
Right. But then I look up the name of, and it came to me to my email address, Anthony at anthonybowlinggroup.com. I look up the name of the person who sent it to me. Sure enough, this individual is in my database and has been getting my marketing materials and campaigns and all for 2 years. I think to myself, wow, okay, it works. This
Drip,
guy's been getting
drip,
my
drip,
information.
drip,
Right.
drip.
Exactly.
Boom.
He's been
Right.
getting it. And now he's saying, good, come on by Tuesday. And I see something here talking about a an appraisal analysis of his property. I was like, okay, no problem. That's what we do. We go all the time and give individuals an equity evaluation of their property and the equity that they have in their home free of charge. That's what we do.
CMA, they call that.
Well, no, because a competitive market analysis is could be very limiting. What we provide with the Anthony Bowling Group is an equity evaluation of your property to show you in terms of generational wealth what you've accumulated in your property and what you might achieve if you were to transfer the ownership of the property today into some other property. But that's not the point of the story.
So,
So
so it's a
with that,
fancy CMA, a
no,
fancier.
no, no. You are limiting. and not fully appreciating.
It's open mic night. I can say whatever I want tonight. All right, go ahead. Tell me the story.
So I prepare the equity property evaluation, and I then, in fact, over the weekend, I drive by the property, I preview it, I look at the neighborhood, I go to the property, I take some photos, some current photos, and all, and that was fun. Uh, Tuesday, I I prepare the equity report, and I go over to the property, and I arrive for a 12 o'clock. It says 12 to 1, so I arrive at 11:30,
It's a little
and
early. It's a little early. Half hour.
well, not for me. I don't think so. I like to be, because yes, that's not early for me. But at 11:45, I then say maybe I got here a little too early.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I just said. Rewind the tape. You can hear what I just said 10 seconds ago. 11:45, I think, is good. You don't want to be
And
late. God forbid.
no, so I go to the door 11:45. I knock on the door. The owner comes to the door. I say, "Yes, hi, I'm Anthony Bowling. I know we have a 12 o'clock. I'm a little early." He says, "No, no, no, no. Come on in." I give him my business card. He looks at it. Great. He says, "Come on in." I say, "Great." He says, "Well, where would you like to start?" I say, "Well, we go to your living room. Here we can talk, because I prepared a a presentation. Here is what we do here at Keller Williams. We prepare these bound presentations for listing presentations.
That's fancy.
It is fancy, right? And so I have this all prepared for him, that's what we do, and it's bound so they can have it, and the information and all, so we can go through it, right? Okay. So I have that. I'm prepared. I say, well, we can go here in your dining room. He says, well, would you like to start inside or outside? And I know owners are feel a lot of pride when they want to sell their properties, and they want to show you all the things they've done. So I said, well, it's up to you. He said, well, let's start outside. So we go on outside, put down my book. We go outside. I'm walking around the property. I'm taking pictures. He has a deep backyard. He's telling me about how long he's been here in the community.
You have a camera or your iPhone?
I have my iPhone. My iPhone, here's the thing. I have on my team a professional photographer, videographer, for an additional fee, that will come in and take professional shots
Okay, good.
of the property and all, that really has the right depth of field and really brings out a property. Yeah. But initially, though, with my iPhone, I'm able to capture information so that because our goal is to get the property on the market that day.
ASAP.
Yes. And we don't want waiting for a photographer's schedule. No, we're going to get your 150 photos and videos that day. And by that evening, that on Anthony Bowling Group, that's our promise and commitment to you. You sign this listing right now, your property's going on the market today, because someone tonight is looking for your property. They might see it tonight, and we have an offer tomorrow. So anyway, we go. I'm taking pictures of the yard, the property. I'm looking. It's a nice property, and it's in Northeast, off of Rhode Island Avenue. It's near the park. It's a lovely detached home. It has. We go inside now. The property has a full basement where he has a 4-bedroom apartment in the basement, kitchen,
4-bedroom,
4,
4,
and a 4, and
wow,
a full kitchen, and a BBL. I mean, it's fully registered. It's legit, right? We then go to main level, foyer entry, stairs, living room, dining room, hardwood floors, kitchen, half wall. I mean, if you're entertaining You can see everyone on this floor from everywhere. It's a great time. It's a great experience. Out onto the deck. We go upstairs. 4 bedrooms, a main bath, another bath in the master bedroom. It's just a beautiful home. Anyway,
Sounds lovely.
it was lovely, and so when we make our way back down to the first level,
You start
and we're
closing.
about
You got to start closing at this point.
to go sit down now to look at the equity evaluation of the property, there's a knock at the door. I say to the owner, "Hey, there's someone at your door." He says, I don't have any other point. I don't know who this is. So he goes to the door, he opens the door. The gentleman comes in. Gentleman says, introduces himself and his company and says, "I'm the appraiser." Right? Okay. And then the owner turns to look at me with a look on his face that tells me immediately something has gone horribly wrong. I don't know what has gone wrong.
So here's the embarrassing part. Here we go.
Something has gone wrong. The owner turns back to the gentleman at the door and says, "No, you're not the appraiser.
He is.
Anthony is the appraiser." And then I say, "Well, no, I'm not an appraiser. I'm the real estate broker." He looks at my card. He says, "No, you're the appraiser." I say, "No." And then the other guy, it's like an Abbott and Costello moment. The other guy says, "No, I'm the appraiser."
Who's on first?
Right. And now the owner is saying to me,
"Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? We have just spent 45 minutes. You have been into every room in my house, taking pictures of every room in my home.
You got intimate with me."
Hey, Lou, I know about his daughter who's going to be a freshman in college.
Where?
His wife.
Where's she going?
Huh?
Where's she going to school?
His going to Johns Hopkins. Nice school.
No joke.
His wife, who lives in Virginia, and because he lives in the district, she stays with the mother, so she's not gonna get that DC tag money. We talking about my children, college. You know how I get. 45 minutes with me, right? This dude knows everything about me.
Well, you talk 42 minutes of the 45.
We have bonded. I mean, he is sharing some really intimate things with me about him when he moved here, his neighbors, the change in the demographic of the community, just the whole nine, man. And now he's saying,
"Who are you?"
"Who are you?" So, and I say, and then I was like, so when it registers with me that, okay, he says to me, now when he said it to me earlier, it didn't register with me. I thought he was just talking about pride, but when we were outside in the yard, he was talking about, yes, I want to do some landscaping and expand the yard. And then we looked at the house. He has a window unit, AC. He says, yes. I say, so you want to upgrade the AC? Yes, but not the heat, because he likes the radiator heat. I say, well, yeah, I'm a second generation Washingtonian. I like radiator heat too. He says, but you can put in the AC unit.
Ward 7.
That's right. Second generation Washingtonian, lifelong Ward 7 resident. That's right. But he said, I say to him, he says, well, if I put in just for the AC, that will have an impact on the value of the property. I say, yes, it will. So he's talking about all these upgrades and things he wants to do to the property.
Very close. It's very close. So both appraiser and real estate brokers, very close.
It is. And so the conversation, I'm like, so as he's talking about all the things that he wants to do, he's talking about with this refinance that he wants to get. and do with the property. And so now I'm standing there. So I say to him now, I say, well, here's my equity report. I say, you know what? Uh, I I I show him the email that I received, and he says, "Well, that must be some fake email someone sent. It's a hoax." I was like, "No, that's your email address." He said, "Yes, it came from you to me." He says, "I don't know."
He was hacked.
Anyway, at this moment, while the three of us are standing here, he says, "Hey, I have to get with the appraiser," and the appraiser guy
You're
is
gonna have to
like,
go.
"Who are you?" And I know he's looking at me like I'm some sort of scammer or something, right? Because I can feel now I'm the third wheel, and our relationship with me and the owner has changed dramatically.
And you're not on a tricycle, you're on a bicycle.
That's
And you're
right.
the third wheel on a bicycle.
Yes.
It's a problem.
And as professionals go, I'm sure the appraiser while I was there was cordial, right? But when I left, I got the sense that
You got bad mouth.
yes,
You
yes,
got trashed.
I did. He was like, this guy was here. That was some kind of scam. No one can understand. But you know what? I go back to my office and I look at the email closer and I read it. And here's what I wanted to share with everyone. Because then here's what I do. When I read the email closer that I received, because it's boggling my mind. How can I be here for a listing appointment?
You don't call beforehand and confirm everything. You just go.
Oh, I did send an email to confirm saying, "Hey, I'll see you today at 12 o'clock. If there's some change, let me know."
And with your title, Keller Williams, all your
Everything. Yeah, that's right.
so he didn't really look at it very hard either.
But here's what happened. Here's why. Here's why what happened. The appraisal company is Anthony's appraisers.
Ooh, that's close.
So let me read to you what, when I realized what happened, I go back to my office, I realize what happened. Here's what I send to him, and this explains it all. Here's
So
what
is he
happened.
doing a refinancement of his loan, I guess? Is that what's going on? He's getting a loan? Is that why he's getting
Right, he's gonna
appraisal done?
refinance the loan on his property and then
Okay.
pull out some money and invest it back into the property.
Okay.
So it's probably, it's a
Equity
cash
line.
out refi, but I'm rolling it back into the property. So here's what I say to him. And because he's not a client, I'm intentionally not sharing his name and address of the property.
Yeah, please don't.
That's right.
Yeah,
So I say, dear owner, I say, please accept my apology for the intrusion earlier today. I received the email below, and at first blush, it appeared to be an invitation to come and discuss the market value of your property. However, now that I have examined the entire email trail, it appears that when you attempted to reply to Anthony's appraisers, your computer email auto-populated Anthony at Anthony Bowling Group, and you sent the confirmation to me. Funny, huh? Well, it was nice to have met you and toured your home. I believe in the universal spirit. I believe in the universal spirit, and everything happens for a reason. We just have to open our eyes and our minds to understand what is being communicated to us. In preparation for what I believe was a listing appointment, I prepared the attached home equity analysis of your home.
Oh, you didn't leave it with him?
Hear the story. I left the hard copy on your counter.
Okay.
But I've attached one here in this email. The report contains current and up to the minute market values and comparisons for your property to other properties in your area. Some of my clients think that this report is more accurate and in a lot of ways equal to and maybe superior to an appraiser's report.
Uh-oh. Now you're going to the dark side. Don't do that. Now you're gonna get in trouble.
I say, have you heard of appraisal bias?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
When we were in your rear yard, you mentioned that some of our Caucasian brothers and sisters are not very nice. Well, some of them are also not very professional either and have been caught giving a substantially lower property value to persons that don't look like them. Here is a link to an article about appraisal bias.
Ooh.
It is clear to me now that you want to get an appraisal to improve and enhance your property and increase its value, right? Well, if the Caucasian appraiser does not provide you with the value you are expecting or what you think your property is worth, please use my home equity report to compare the comps into his report to the ones in my report.
Oh, you're going in deep now. Now you're going.
I serve on the District of Columbia Board of Real Estate Appraisers, and we regulate all the appraisers in the District of Columbia. Our board responds to complaints about the performance of appraisers from property owners just like yourself. Again, I apologize for the confusion and intrusion I may have caused by coming to your home today. And remember, everything happens for a reason. All the best, Anthony Bowling, JD, Associate Broker, Keller Williams Preferred Properties.
He's never going to call you again. Why? Why would you go into the appraisal part as yours might be better?
Some of my clients have said that about the home equity analysis that I provide. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's not bragging, it's not hyperbole if it's true.
No, I know. It's hyperbole. No, it's definitely hyperbole. No. Oh, it's hyperbole. You know, those guys do that shit with a license for a living, and we don't. So
What?
it might be a little hyperbole.
Well, I mean, in the District of Columbia, yes, licensed appraisers are the only professionals who are licensed to give value. That is a statement of fact.
But you're giving value. But you're doing it though, too.
No. That's why we don't give as real estate professionals, as brokers, as agents, real estate agents. And this is good for you in the public to know. Real estate agents, realtors, brokers, like myself, we don't give value. That's not what we do. The thing you were referring to earlier, the CMA.
Yeah.
It's not an opinion of value. It is a comparison, and just what it says, a competitive market analysis. It's looking back at what has happened and comparing it that we might extrapolate and project into the future what we think is going to happen with your property because it's similar to what has happened to other properties.
I call it a comparative market analysis.
A what?
Comparative market analysis.
Yes, comparative.
Oh,
yes.
Because you called it competitive. I don't know.
Well, some people it's competitive because the properties, we're looking at those properties that have competed in your market. This is what you're up against. Because as a property owner, when you go to sell your property, when buyers come to your property and they're working with, as they should be working with a buyer's agent, we also work with buyers. Then those buyers are getting their information based on what has already happened. When they come to your property and you say you want $800,000 for your property, the buyer says, Anthony, is it worth $800,000? He says, well, how can I make a determination? And then we look at the current market, we look at market conditions, but we start off looking at other properties. I mean, clearly, if there's a property next door that was built the same time, looks just like your property, and it just sold a month ago for $800,000,
Right.
even then, if your property is not in the same condition, that property was fully renovated, top to bottom, your property had nothing's been done in the last 30 years, then your property competitively, you are less likely, less probable that you're going to achieve the same price and offers for your property. But again, that's looking back. What appraisers do, on the other hand, and as you said, the line is really close. It's really fine because the appraiser is also looking at past properties that have sold that are similar within a geographical area that looks like yours. The difference, however, is, and this is credit to the appraisal industry, the difference is the appraiser is making financial adjustments to those properties, comparing it to yours. So if you have
value adjustments, you mean, right?
That's right. Exactly. Value adjustments.
Yeah.
And then determining what your proposed value of your property is, because the idea is to normalize all the properties across the board. And now we're saying, hey, that property that sold 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 2 days ago, is detached, yours is detached. They have 3 bedrooms, you have 3 bedrooms. Okay, but they have 3 bathrooms, you only have 1.5 bathrooms. Oh, adjustment.
Yeah.
They have hardwood floors throughout, you have carpet. Oops. Adjustment. Their property was recently renovated and everything was brought up to current today's standards and all, including the electrical system. Nothing's been done in your property since you bought the property 22 years ago. Ooh, adjustment. So although you're saying, hey, my house is just like my neighbor's house, looks like it, yes. However, when you start adjusting for value, the appraiser then comes and says, here's what it's worth. Now, here's what I say, and it's crazy the kinds of hats you have to wear here. When I go to represent an owner and the owner says to me, hey, Anthony, I have some monies. I want to position my property to be as competitive in this market as possible, to yield the highest amount of money value for it in the shortest period of time. How do we do that? And the owners, most owners say to me, I want to get an appraisal of the property and get a value. And then with the value set by the appraiser, they then want me as the real estate professional to market the property at that value. They say, well, look, an appraiser says it's worth 800. So then list it at 800. And that's what we should be able to get, because now we can show this to the buyers when they come here to the property. And we can say, look, this was just done. The appraiser just did this last week. The appraiser says it's worth 800. Now, because I, as the real estate professional, have been hired to market and sell your property and to give you an understanding of what the market buyers think and how they will react to your offering, my advice, first thing to the seller, is that buyers are going to tell you to your face, if the appraiser thinks it's worth 800, he should buy for 800. We don't think it's worth 800.
Right.
Right. So, in response to that, what I have found is a more effective way of achieving maximum value is not to have owners, sellers invest in an appraisal. One, because the buyer, if they are getting financing from a lender,
got to do their own.
Exactly. The lender is going to require that the buyer get an appraisal to support the purchase price of the property. And most likely, if they're getting a lender and they're getting a loan, their loan is going to be somewhere between 80 to 95% loan to value, meaning the buyer is going to be putting down as little as 5% and maybe as much as 20% down. But the lender is going to be carrying the load of this loan. So if I give you an equity valuation, which you know is a competitive market analysis, and I say the value looks like this, the better approach is invest your money in reducing any deficiencies and blemishes in the property that the buyer will use as the basis for seeking to negotiate the value down. What do you mean? Well, if you're going to put some money in, have the house painted. Because buyers, when they're coming in, they are looking at what money do I have to spend in order to make this house really mine for the next 20 years. And most buyers in this market don't want to do anything. And if they're looking at your property, if it's not a brand newly built property, then that's because they don't like newly built, or the newly built they're seeing is outside their budget or away from where they want to live or other things. So if they're here at your property, fine. So paint the house. No, you don't. You're not going to paint the house? Okay, fine. Make sure it's clean.
The one thing paint does, it takes away all your personal smells, because everyone's house has a smell to it. Your family smell. Every family has a family smell.
Yes.
The laundry detergent, the
Yes.
food you eat, the clothes, your
Yes.
shoes, how clean you keep your house.
All the skin that's been flaking off you for 20 years.
Every family has a family smell. They just do. I mean, it's not, some better than others, I guess. I don't know. But the fresh paint does really mask that very well.
Yes.
Fresh
So
paint
now you got it freshly painted, and people come in, and psychologically, a freshly painted home
smells
now
like paint. It's good.
As party saying, hey, I don't have to paint. Okay, great. If you're not going to paint, then turn your attention to the kitchen. A lot of us spend a lot of time in and around the kitchen, however it's laid out.
You spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Yeah, we do. We're either in the kitchen or we're sending somebody to the kitchen. We just came through the kitchen.
I like eating.
Right. You see? So then have those features and tools and appliances and things as modern and up to date as you can in the kitchen. From the kitchen, then you want to do what you can with the bathrooms at the main level. If your budget won't allow you to do the powder room on the first floor, okay, great, do it. Don't not do it because you can't do all the bathrooms. Do it.
Yeah.
Because and then here's one I always like that people overlook. If you have central air and heat, right?
If you have what?
If you do already have in the property central air and heat, not radiators, but a central HVAC system for your heating and cooling, ductwork, right? In light of the pandemic, and because my daughter, Eliza Bowling, Xavier graduates from New Orleans, public health science major in our master's program, and a fellow with the CDC right now. Okay. So, but what I get from that is that today's buyers are very sensitive, and not just persnickety, but sensitive about smells and
Germs.
germs and things. And so that whole Stanley steamer, not that Stanley is a sponsor of Chasing Gazillions, not the same as Making Millions.
We could use
Wednesdays with
Stanley.
Fernando and Anthony.
We
But
could
if they
use
want to be a
Stanley.
sponsor,
Yeah.
but the point is, if you have ductwork, get the ductwork cleaned, and don't clean the ductwork and then go short. Replace all of the vents and the grates, brand new, so they
The
work and they operate. All of the return ducts and all. See, people they might have the ductwork clean, but then they don't replace the grates and they're old and it looks matted. No,
it's
and
it's
so if you
funny.
replace those,
Okay, last year we replaced all the floor on the first level,
yeah,
and my wife replaced all the vents, and it
yeah,
made a huge difference.
exactly.
Huge. It was like,
It,
wow, it made everything pop.
it does because for the most part, most of us have these old vents and they're all open, and so the capacity of your system has been working overtime, But here you could actually shut off some of the vents in some of the rooms that you're not in and you're not utilizing, and now that's pushing air or heat more efficiently to you.
Right.
So those are the areas where you want to make the investment, because that way, as your marketing professional, when we are doing the open house of your property, and this applies whether it's commercial property or residential. The Anthony Bowling Group, we hold your commercial property open as well. And the point is that when tenants or when buyers come, they are looking for the basis upon which to challenge
Your value.
your value.
Your
Exactly.
price.
Your
Your
price.
list price.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. No matter what. So when we establish the price and the value, I'm here to defend it. And so what we have to say to what we want to be in a position to say to the market is, yes, we are offering this property for 800,000. Is it worth 800,000? Yes. That's why we offered it that, in our professional opinion. And they say, well, I don't think it's worth 800,000. And then our response is, on what basis are you suggesting it's not worth 800,000? And then they go looking for it. They go looking to say, well, and they exaggerate. So if your house isn't painted, then the buyers will say, well, I got to paint the house. Okay. How much is that? $20,000. $20,000.
Paint is expensive because we painted our first level. I cannot believe how expensive it is.
How much was it?
Like $130 a gallon.
Okay.
Benjamin Moore, good paint, but
okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get my calculator out here.
we spent probably $800 in paint just in the first level. So we're looking at.
Okay, you said $150 a gallon.
Yeah.
Times how many gallons?
6.
Okay, let's go get it 12. That's $1,800 in paint.
No, painting. You're paying. Paint's
Okay,
expensive.
but the paint guy, yes.
You're paying for the labor.
Yeah. For the labor, yes.
It's not gonna be 20 grand to paint a house. It'll be like 5 or 6.
There you, okay. I thought you were okay because you just.
No, I'm not. Right. I don't think that's a good number. No.
Exactly, but the buyers, you talk about hyperbole. The buyers will, in their mind, for budgeting purposes, they are going to say, I got to spend, where I'm going to find 20,000 to do that. If the kitchen isn't updated, all the numbers are going to be exaggerated in their mind, and that's how they are making the decision on the value of your property. Or more importantly, how much they believe they need to get the property discounted for them to make an offer.
Well, the way I look at it, there are buyers and liars. All right. Either interested.
They're what and what? Okay.
Buyers or liars. They're either interested or they're going to lie about what they think the value's worth, and they're not really serious.
Uh,
And you only come back to them when they put something on paper,
how long
because
you been in this business?
1992,
92.
31 years.
Okay, you sound a little jaded. So that okay,
Oh,
that's
I am rough around the edges.
it sounds like that I don't know that these buyers who are making financial decisions that we work with the Anthony Bowling Group,
Oh,
we are not finding the buyers to be so cynical. I think they are prudent. I think that they are looking to us to be their trusted advisors who are knowledgeable about a lot because we're in and out of the market, in and out of properties every day. We have a higher level of competence about the process. And so I wouldn't characterize them as being liars, but it is true that they hide a lot of what's truly motivating them in the decision making process,
oh,
i.e., they lie a lot.
thank you. I would have told them to get out and come back when you're serious. Is that jaded? Maybe. But
Yeah, no, we have fun here.
the thing of it is, it's the right now there's still a huge shortage of residential real estate in the DC area.
Did you hear what happened in Prince George's County? What the council just did?
I love the county, home of College Park, Maryland,
Yes. Oh my
University of
God.
Maryland.
They just put a moratorium, a 2-year moratorium on no more townhouses. You can't build no more townhouses. That's what they want to do in Prince George's County.
Don't we have somebody that was on our show that was selling that land with townhouses?
Yes.
Oh, that must have
They don't no more don't dude. If you a developer out here, I went to a presentation with one of my mentors of 4, 5, 6 months ago and all, and someone got up and said, "Hey, we need to get out here. You need to lobby these councilmen because they're about to pass legislation that's going to put a moratorium on building any more townhouses in Prince George's County. They don't want it unless you are what is it? Transit oriented development around a metro station. You can do townhomes around a metro station because then you don't have the parking and walking. But somewhere, no more townhouses in the next 2 years, man.
So what? They just want single families, condos.
I guess because on the other hand, on the commercial side, nobody's really doing commercial development, right? I mean, right now. I mean, we're trying to get FBI to come to Prince George's County, right? We haven't landed that opportunity, secured that yet.
Maybe they shouldn't have got rid of Melinda Bowling.
Hey, man, you know what? People might think I paid you to say that.
No. My thoughts are my own. They always have been.
Yes, yeah, they don't reflect. What do you say? They don't reflect that of the show or the
I
other
don't say that. You
co-hosts.
say that. I have never said a disclaimer once.
You don't say a disclaimer.
All
I
right,
guess
well,
do
this
we
was a
have to
great
disclaim
show.
on? Do we have to disclaim on our own show?
I don't think so. No, we're not saying anything. Fine. We're fine. That's it. It was a great show. 48 minutes. Here we go. You just get to talking. I think I said 3 words the whole show. It happened.
Well, you know what? As always, Fernando, man, I love seeing you. I look forward to this day, Wednesday, to spend this time with you. And you just bring it out of me, man. I love just talking with you, man. And not that I mean, I like talking, but
We had
since I've gotten into coaching,
we had brunch the other day.
we did have brunch the other day. We did have our quarterly brunch. We had it at Johnny's on Roland Parkway. Is it Roland Parkway? Roland Avenue. Roland Avenue in the Upland community of Baltimore.
AKA the rich area.
It was upland.
Oh, it's very up.
It's upland. But it was nice. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. But you know what though? let's talk about that for a moment. And you all out there, you let me know how you feel about it. I love to get your feedback on this phenomenon that we experienced when we were out at Johnny's. Uh, and you tell me if
Oh, you're not going to talk about the waitress. Oh, you're not.
I am. I
Oh,
have to.
of course. Of course you.
Okay, so we're there with Johnny. And maybe you all have experienced this when you're out, and maybe this is standard in the industry now. I don't know, but it really it really was bad. So we come, it's Fernando and I. We're there for our brunch. We have reservations. 11:30. I'm there. Of course, I wasn't there at 11. I wasn't half an hour early for brunch, right? But I was there on time. I come, get a table. We got a booth. We're there, the two of us. And I immediately, because it is brunch and I'm hungry and all, I order a couple of appetizer things. We got those fried oysters, and I got the strawberry sort of Moscow mule, but it was strawberry or something. Their version of a mule, and we got some sparkling water, and then we got the soup. I think you got the crab bisque. I think I got the chowder, corn chowder.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're talking, we're eating, and it's our quarterly, get together, right? I mean, we talk every week, once a week, but this is away from. It's supposed to be away from shop talk. It's supposed to be.
Oh, it was all shop. No. Which is fine.
So we eat, and then when we were done with that, while we were eating and enjoying and talking, the waitress comes by. She says, "Hey, you ready to order?" No, not yet. Not the main, not yet. Oh, okay, no problem. So we're eating, we're talking. I don't know. Initially, I'm not even noticing it, but
They're circling the
eventually,
wagons. They're circling around our table. They're circling
exactly. You kind of sense that. Oh, is it busy here? Because people are going by, but eventually they come by again. And they say, are you ready to order?" And they're like, "Hey, come on, order." And so, okay, we order the main entrees, and then we finish up our appetizers and all. I mean, personally, those fried oysters were good. I would have liked to have gotten another order of the oysters, but we went on and got the main meal. Fine. We order it.
I got the Benedict. It was very good.
Yes, you got the egg Benedict. I got the Johnny's Slam, the egg and cheese sandwich on bread with a side of shortcakes.
Hotcakes.
The hotcakes, three hotcakes. Johnny's hotcakes.
They were very good. They were big.
They were big. And
you didn't offer to share them with me, by the way.
I did not. No. You would get what you want. Do you? So we order that. They bring the food, and with the sparkling water now, I noticed that she opens it, she pours it, and then when you drink some, you put your glass down. Then she comes back, she gets the bottle, and they pour it out, and then they say, "Do you want another one?" Well, I haven't even finished drinking this, but okay, give me another one. So we got a second bottle.
That's known as service. That's what
it is. It is. It's great service. It's great service.
Yes.
Great. So we're eating. He has eggs Benedict, and I'm eating, and we're talking, and we're eating, and then she comes by and she says, "Are you finished?" And I'm like, I got 2 plates of food here, a half a sandwich here with tomatoes and all, and I haven't even touched my my stack yet at all. I mean, the syrup and all is still sitting here. She's asking me, "Am I finished?" And I'm like, and the first time, I was like, "No, I'm fine, dear. Okay." And I go on back, we're talking.
Maybe Connor Deer was a problem. I'm just saying.
Is
Maybe.
that bad to
Maybe.
call women dear?
It's old fashioned. That's all.
I'm old.
Oh, I know.
So, so
By
I
the way,
said,
that second time shoulder you finished, you had cracked into the hotcakes, but only eaten like a little bit of them.
exactly right. So when she comes by again, she says, "Hey, are you finished?" Now I finished the sandwich, but now literally, I'd only like I like to cut. I like to use my knife, my fork,
Yeah,
cut
that was
and
painful to
eat
watch.
and
Yes, yes.
right. And so I was like, no. I was like, look, I haven't finished. She's like, oh, okay.
I told her to get you more syrup, though. Remember?
That's right.
Might
That's
need
right.
more
So this
syrup.
time, Fernando says, hey, but can we get some more syrup? Okay. She brings back the syrup. Okay, fine. We're talking, we're eating, we're enjoying ourselves. It's a nice day. I mean, it's rainy, but I like the rain.
I
But
hate the
but it's nice.
heat it.
Then here's the part that I want to hear from you all about. Because maybe up to this point, you all think bowling's just a Neanderthal. He don't know good service
Is
when he getting it.
Did she come back or someone else came back? I thought it was someone above her came back.
Some human being came back, and this time they don't say, "Are you finished?" They come back and say, literally, "Would you like a to-go box for this?"
Oh, she did. They did say that.
Yes. She asked me. I'm mid chewing, and she said, "Would you like a to-go box?"
Yeah.
I, and I was like, "A to-go box?" I was like, and I literally have to say, "I'm sorry, dear. Am I
Again,
not allowed to stay here and finish eating my meal here? I mean, do I have to leave?" And she was like, "No, you don't have to leave."
they got
I
very
because
defensive. They got defensive.
they're asking me, "Do I want a to-go box?"
Right.
I got pancake in my mouth. I'm eating. And here's the thing, and I'm not sensitive to this, but I was told when I came to Johnny's that, and I think the person was joking when they said it, but they did mention that, the upland community of Roland Park only recently, and by recently they said 2022, just by legislation, did away with the last racial covenants in the community. Now, I'm old enough to know that here in this country, I mean, we have racial issues, and we've certainly had areas, because I've been involved in real estate 37 years to know that there have been, exist somewhere, racial covenants that bar and prohibit blacks and others, maybe
Hispanics
indigenous
too.
people. I know it was blacks. Everybody else gets on the bandwagon, and everybody else says they were. We know it was black, and so we just say everybody. But we know there were written racial covenants that said you are barred from selling your property to someone black.
So what? Federal law doesn't trump that?
But you have to get the federal law passed, and no, state
Federal has
law,
been
state,
passed.
state law. People, we know even now today, feds can say something, but if the states say, "No, in my state, no abortion," or "in my state, abortion," right? State law.
If I tell someone, sorry, there's a covenant for this property and you can't buy this property, I think I would lose my license right there on the spot, wouldn't I? Isn't that against like fair housing?
I'm pretty sure it is today. Yes. I think the point that they were making, tongue in cheek, is that there are covenants and laws on the books that we don't recognize, that no longer have any value because of the federal laws, but they are still on the books. and some have not actually been abolished off the books. So yes, it's one of these things, sort of like in the district when I was coming up, I used to hear the one about spitting on the street, that there is a law against spitting in the public, but people do it all the time. But could an officer use that as the basis to stop you? I guess he could, and he would later on be found to have illegally detained you. But look what you would have to go through first,
Right.
while he is exercising what he believes is his right. So anyway, I think the whole story about the covenant, I think they were trying to just say, hey, you're up in that area, upland, where you haven't, you meaning African Americans, haven't always been welcomed in the past. But that's like saying what? That's everywhere, right?
I don't think that waitress was being prejudiced
I
at
don't
all.
think, because what, I think she was black, wasn't she?
She was.
Exactly. So
But
I
I don't that
don't
place.
think that was the case. That's what I'm
Yeah, I don't
saying.
think
The
that.
phenomenon is not a. I didn't, up until you mentioned about the racial thing, I didn't think it was a racial thing. I think there's some industry thing that's going on that's
Well, they
pushing
wanna turn the
people.
table, man. They wanna get another table in there so she can get another, um, gratuity. That's what it is. They
But if
wanna
you let me enjoy myself, if I have a good time and I enjoy myself with my friend, you're gonna get a big enough
You're gonna
gratuity
give them a
here.
good gratuity, say 25%, which is a great gratuity, right?
Yes.
So, but if you leave there and you give them 15 because 'cause you're pissed, the next person gives them 15 because 'cause they're pissed, let's say. Now they're at 30, which is more than 25, last time I checked. So it's about turning the table more than it is about getting the fuck out,
At the risk of two
upsetting you.
customers being
Yeah,
pissed.
yeah. But there were plenty of empty tables. I even said to her at one point, "Do you need this table?"
Right, exactly. So
Because
I hear
I'm
what you're
looking
saying. I
around, the
don't know.
place is 3/4 empty, the 3
I,
quarters full. There's plenty of empty tables. So she said, "Oh, no, no, we don't." I'm like, "All right, well, we'll leave when we leave." He likes to talk a lot. And then next thing you know, 2 hours later,
well, so I got there 11:30, and we left at
2,
1:30.
2
One,
o'clock.
it wasn't fully 2 o'clock when
It
you
was
left.
2:10, right? It wasn't fully 2. It was 2:10. Right. It wasn't fully 2. It was 2:10. Right. Yeah.
Because you, it appeared, and you know what? And I made note of that when you left, and I'm glad you brought that up. It appears that you weren't really committed to spending the rest of the day with me, were you?
I thought it was like a 1-hour brunch.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why would you
I
think
don't know
that?
why I thought that.
I
It was
don't know why you thought that. It
I
appeared,
don't know
it
either.
appeared that the way you got out of there, like
I ran
others,
out. Oh,
uh,
I
you were like others are expecting you. See, I cleared the deck.
didn't do
Melinda
that.
was not
But
expecting me when I.
let me just say, I learned from that experience that if you're having brunch with bowling, set aside 4 hours.
It's not like we do it every day.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I was like, I
Because I
got
thought you were gonna go. I thought we were gonna go down
oh,
into
see the
Baltimore, go
property.
look at
Oh
the
no, that was
property.
done. Yeah, that was done. After 2.5 hours, we were done. That was it. No, no. I didn't have another hour to go down there to see the property and go do that.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
realized that now. But I was like,
I should have cleared the day. I didn't I thought 11:30 we're good. We'll get done by 12:30. Anthony's a big talker. It'll go to 1. 2 o'clock, I'm like, what is going on here? So
but again, if you had said something, I thought, you
no,
know
I
what?
didn't because I'm not
You know
rude.
what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I thought you were enjoying yourself. I thought you were
I
enjoying the
was, but
company.
it was time. It was time to go. 2.5 hours. It's time to go.
I had a good time. I enjoyed my time.
So did I, but 2.5 hours I was ready to go.
It's not like we're repeating ourselves. It's not like
No, no, that's 3 years from now, not now. When you get old, that's what you do.
all right.
All right. Well, it was a great show. An hour and 5 minutes of open mic night with
Over my
nobody opened the mic.
I saw people came and they peeked in, but nobody came into the chat.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go have a bourbon with my neighbor and a cigar. I will talk to you later.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Next week. Bye.